Hello, students, and welcome to our Physical Education's Ultimate Frisbee lecture. Normally, when we're playing a new sport, I like to show a video first, kind of before we get started, so you guys can kind of see, what the top level looks like. And we're going to try to emulate or replicate something along these lines. So I do have a video. I'm going to be kind of talking through it, so just kind of listen, and we'll take it all together. So that's called a pool. That's at the beginning of a frisbee game, and it is thrown from one side of the field to another. It's kind of similar to a kickoff in football. Now, those are blocks. Ultimate Frisbee is a fast paced game. It's an invasion style game played with two teams. So, very similar to a football field setup. The field is slightly tighter and shorter than a football field, but it can be played on one as well. And it's a game where possessions are quickly coming back and forth. So once a possession is made, any type of drop of the frisbee, like if this red team catches it, so they maintain it, and that block, well, that's actually an end zone touchdown right there. But if they do knock down the frisbee at all, then it becomes the other team's frisbee. So it can be on any type of block or any type of drop down. Those will be the rules that we play against. This is a national game. All right, USA Ultimate is kind of the gold standard right now. It's not exactly a professional league, but I'd call it semi-professional. And these guys do get paid a little to show off their skills, and can be played by men or women. All right, and now we'll kind of get more into like the nuts and bolts, the rules of the game, but this just kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. So let me exit out this screen, and we'll go back. Now, attached is the guided notes for this unit, so you guys can kind of walk through it. All right through here, and you can download that and either fill it out or print it out however you want to, but it'll definitely give you a great let me scroll down through it, a great idea of what you will be looking for when it comes to our formative and summative assessments. All right, now just whenever you guys are going through the Google Classroom, I've labeled all my notes section notes, and they are all linked up. So just click on it right there, and it'll bring up a PDF style page. So just kind of like going through, start of the game begins with the pool. As I said, it's two games. It's two teams playing an invasion style game. A regular field is 70 by 40 feet with 25-yard deep end zones. All right. So every time a offense completes a pass in the defensive team's end zone, it is worth a point. All right, and then another pool will occur. The change of possession is very quickly. All right, so anytime a ball goes out of bounds, a frisbee is dropped, a block, or an interception, the defensive team immediately takes possession. So it's not like it is much more of a soccer flow of a game than a football flow of a game. It's not a slow, choppy game. It's a game that goes back and forth very quickly. It's a non-contact sport. All right, and players do call their own fouls. It's a self-refereed game, except for at the highest level. All right, and ultimate frisbee, or ultimate as it's been called, is just just a fun game that's supposed to be played, but it does have a very competitive atmosphere to it. Now there are a couple throws that are important that you need to learn. All right, and I got two of them on here. The backhand release, which is a much common release, where your throwing arm is shoulder to the target, and you basically try to keep your hand parallel to the ground as you flip through and point your finger directly to the person. As long as the disc stays parallel, it should fly, and the rotation of it is good. And once that happens, then you can either use a pancake catch, which is two hands kind of slapping down on it, kind of like you'd slap down on a pancake. And the other one is a C catch. And the C catch is when you make your hand, either one hand or two hands, in the shape of the C. And you try to get the frisbee in the crest of your hand and then close your hand. Either one is acceptable. The C catch is kind of faster for transition. Second one is a thumber. On a thumber throw, you start with your opposite arm, your opposite shoulder towards the target. And you would put your thumb on the bottom or the lip of the disc and your fingers on the top of the disc so that your fingers are on the smooth part. And you would essentially flick with an underhand sidearm motion, all right, with your thumb finishing at the target. And, this can be more effective when it comes to the pull that we talked about earlier, which is a way to start a game, or passing when a person is guarding you. Now, as far as defensively, there are some rules and restrictions when playing Ultimate Frisbee. Only one player may face guard another player. So if a person is standing there attempting to throw a Frisbee, you can't have four or five multiple people at all guarding, trying to block vision or impede throw. Only one person can do that. So that way, having a backhand and a thumber throw that are both effective tools can have the person be much more effective in releasing the Frisbee. Also, there's a 10-second rule. A 10-second rule is means the person cannot hold a Frisbee. It's supposed to be a free-flowing, quick-moving game, so a person cannot hold a Frisbee for more than 10 seconds. And then also taking 3 momentum steps. So as they call it, the Frisbee, it's not a catch and then you have no momentum and then you take 3 steps forward. If my momentum is carrying me in a direction, I have 3 steps before I must throw the Frisbee again. So that is a judgment call, which is normally made by either the person who's making the Frisbee or their opponent. But again, spirit of the game, ultimate stress of sportsmanship and fair play. Competitive play is encouraged, never at the expense of respect between players, to adhere to the rules and basic joys of the game. All that, as long with the self-refereeing rule, kind of fits in. Now, what we will do is we'll step out on the field, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be practicing our backhand and thumber throws, our C and pancake catches. Once we get that, we'll split up and we will get into our games. I should thank you for listening to my Ultimate Frisbee lecture. And if you have any questions, you can contact me. My email is jparsons@sesmustangs.org, or as always, you can hit me on my Twitter @coachparsons.com. Thanks a lot. I'm sorry, just @Coach Parsons. And see you soon. All right, bye.